Mhm. I'm discovering why I'm now able to climb hills and stairs with dramatically reduced or no pain. Getting the last of the toxins out of my home and my body had decreased the fibro pain massively. And the most toxic of all to a canary with environmental sensitivities from the Mutherford gene had been the prescription drugs. Turns out they're only safe in the short term, but incredibly damaging long term, and usually untested for more than 3 months. Off them, my gut, brain, and body began to heal, especially the connective tissue in my muscles and skin. Then I visit an osteopath who tells me my hips are now barely malaligned, the reason I'm largely pain-free and feel years younger. And apparently look it too. I wander through Nelson Park one day, no longer a destination, but the beginning of my long rambles, and see my friend the gardener. Hi, Jonathan. He walks right by me, giving me what Georgette Heyer called the cut direct. I know I haven't done anything to bother him, so I repeat, Jonathan, and he stares at me in shock. I heard your voice, Linda, but I couldn't find you. What was I, shrouded in mist? No, but this is going to sound very strange. I stare back at him, curious as hell. You look decades younger. Wow. I dig up my recent driver's license portrait, and he's right. I used to look like a fading away, thin, elderly gray. I was fading away, a thin, elderly gray ghost. Or as my fairy godchild said on seeing me after 10 years, you look like it hurt to breathe. Then I dreamt a beautiful dream, as my dreams too were beginning to trickle back after years of silence as the REM sleep destroyed by the benzos returns. A dream I am dancing again, strong and lithe, with power and strength. Sometimes I dance in the air. It feels wondrous to leap into the ether and flow for miles. My turns take me past the stars. Unfortunately, that was just a dream. In life, it had become. It hadn't returned that quickly. When I was a young theater student, I learned the weirdest things because you never knew what strange skill would help you land a job. So I know how to fly a trapeze, fight with a rapier and dagger, deliver a fake kick to the groin that makes men wince. Actors often need to dance, so I'd studied everything from ballet to Afro jazz. Soon I could fake anything to any kind of music you can dance to solo. To Celtic music, I danced a jig. To Spanish guitar, imaginary castanets flew. You name it, my body entered that culture, felt its rhythms, and moved. I always felt my body danced herself. Detached from the endless babbling of my busy mind, I let her have her way, watched in silence, and delighted in the results. It was a kind of meditation for someone who sucked at stillness. But the accumulated pain of 13 car accidents, fibromyalgia, and worst of all, a yoga injury put an end to that activity. The agony I felt after dancing just wasn't worth it, and the constant exhaustion meant I rarely had the energy even to try. Once in a blue moon, however, my dancer would reemerge. It was like a fairy tale, the Dutch one where the lame girl can skate one night a year. I would wake up in the morning knowing today I can dance. Cinderella gets to go to the ball and return home in her pumpkin carriage to manageable pain. But those were rare and magical moments that became fewer and farther apart as I grew increasingly disabled, largely housebound, and mostly bedridden due to 5 incurable diseases, including fibro. Swelling has spread from fat red toes to massively swollen ankles, and finally to my puffy, often pumpkin-sized face. The tiny dancing slippers had long ago been replaced by Ronald McDonald shoes that didn't touch my painfully swollen feet. The dancer in me seemed to die, and it looked like I was going to end up in a wheelchair, missing some toes. Until I got off the dreadful and dangerous benzodiazepines like Xanax, Valium, and clonazepam, and 4 other equally useless prescriptions. To my delight and astonishment, 6 months later, the energies of life began to flow once more. I gradually went from 70% disabled to 70% abled. Every day became a happy rebirth day. Almost. Because my dancer didn't return even when energy and clarity did. At the farmer's market one day, a year off the drugs, I heard a familiar lilt and I tried a simple turn, a slight kick. Instant agony. My hip ached, my knee felt damaged. I nearly wept. Clearly, that part of my life was over. Or was it? I don't believe in positive thinking, but I'm a fighter, not a quitter. The right music played and out flew a tiny bit of dancing here, another little bit there. When feeling weak, I boogied in my chair. As it's on casters, it could give me one hell of a workout. Over a year, slowly and gradually, the strength and flexibility came back. The old moves reemerged at my age. Ditching the drugs and removing the thyroid toxin triclosan, also known as microban in all its forms, from my toothpaste to antibacterial everything, gave me back my cheekbones and transformed my ankles from football size to the skinny white feet that came with the original packaging. To celebrate, I bought my first pair of toe-touching pumps in 25 years. They were butter soft leather, fuchsia ballet flats, ridiculously expensive, to pamper my still tender tootsies. I planned to be the essence of sane and sensible on their first outing and walk across the street to the farmer's market, buy fruit and coffee, and walk home. A sensible plan. But what was it Robbie Burns wrote about the best laid plans of mice and Linda's? Because I saw my favorite Celtic band, and my tightly clad toes tapped. I tried a kick, essayed a turn. What the hell? I went for the whole damn jig. It seemed like my body and the fuchsia flats, like the red shoes of fairy tale fame, were dancing me, but instead of dancing me to death, they were dancing me back to life. 2 hours later, thrilled to the tips of my fuchsia-clad toes, I went home to no pain that day or the next. I had done it, healed what the doctors said was impossible. Now I dance daily to transform emotional and physical pain for the sheer and wondrous joy of it, and just because I can. I dance for joy and I dance for sorrow. I dance my journey back to better health and my fury at frustrations and withdrawal symptoms and at those who preferred me drugged and dependent. And in doing so, make room for the laughter and delight at being able to dance once more. On a bad day full of fibro, brain fog, and agony, I dance myself out of despair and pain and into clarity, comfort, and calm. If there's music anywhere, you'll find me dancing. Someone told me I'd be doing a disservice to the universe if I didn't. Because by getting off the sleeping pills I was addicted to, I've literally gone from crawling to dancing, and I ain't never going back. Now, every day is a brand new day.
Mm.